Trading. I'm going to make this trading recap real quick. I had 2 winners and 1 loser today. So let me just go over the 2 winners first. My last trade was this one, BA, Boeing. I'm actually in this long for a swing, and I've been in it for a little bit, but, well, kind of like an investment, but, you know, I saw this today. Let me make this quick. And see, it's coming up to this. It looks like it wants to come up to this trend line and could fail, but I'm not taking any more trades. You know, all day it's been making this trend. Then I notice right here, kind of, you know, when it goes up all day like that, there's a chance it's going to get top heavy and fall. So, you know, you just wait for that to happen. But so I made this trend line. Looks like it was getting top heavy. Broke this trend line. Got in right here as soon as it broke. It looked heavy. Got in 300 shares. On the first wash, I think I collected 100 right here on the first wash. The next wash, collected another 100, I think. And then I collected, 50 on the next wash. And then I washed again, but like, if you look at this, there's no real times I could add. So, I made a good amount of money on each wash. But the trend line I drew never really came back to test it where it could give me a good spot to add. Like, if it would have kept coming up and maybe came like right here on this candle, or maybe it kind of came up to right here, that would have been a good place to add, but it kind of just drained. And I paid myself along the way of that drain, and then it stopped, came back up, and maybe I wanted to. I was like, okay, this, it might keep going like this. I'm gonna add right here, and then this happened, and this candle right here hammered down really bad. Not really bad, but it hammered down. It rejected this area right here, the 11 or 12, the point 12. So I added again on that hammer candle, and then I took out half. I was about 50 shares, and then I added 100 shares, and then 80 shares, and then I went out 150. So I was only at about 50 shares after all these, and then I ended up right here with a new average around like new average. I think my average was around here somewhere, with double the amount of shares I had right here. So it didn't end up too bad, but it wasn't terrible, because then I caught this next wash, and as it hit this bottom, I wanted to see. And if you notice, every time I paid myself, it was around a support line. So if you notice, the first time I paid myself was right here, and every time I was watching these support lines, and I knew after, not only did they wash, they washed to these support lines. So I paid myself on this one. As you can see, there's a lot of support right here on this wick, and right over here on this top. And then again, my next target to pay myself was around here on these 2 tops. And I got it around that area. I caught it off that wash, and it was in around the same area. I could have gone a little lower, but I saw the wash, and I was like, and I just figured I'd collect it because it was kind of in that area, that range. And again, kind of in the same area, but on the next wash. And then, I didn't really have enough shares to really just like collect. I kind of wanted to see how far I was going to go. That's why I did that adding. Then I collected again on this bottom. I figured it would double bottom and shoot up or something. Or I collected half of 80 shares. Or no, I collected 60 shares, so I had 20 shares after I collected this. Then I added 80 more shares. So I had 100 shares after I added right here. And then it tapped trend line, came back down, paid myself on the bottom again. Because by this time I'm playing this bottom. It doesn't seem like it wants to pass this bottom line. If it does, it's taking a while. It's putting a big fight as this trend line's coming down. So paid myself again 60, so I had 40 shares left, and then as soon as it broke the trend line, I got out full and all out for, so pretty good win. That was a pretty good trade. And right now it looks like it's, you know, kind of wants to come up to this trend line right here, but I'm not trading anymore today. Let me go on to the next trade. That one took a little bit longer than it should have. So now this video, I wanted to keep this video under 5 minutes, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. My other winner was Tesla. Let's see here. This was my first trade of the day, and it's kind of like a small winner. I woke up at like 11, and there's a lot of reasons for that. I'll go into that later in the video. But I woke up at around 11 something, and started watching my list of stocks, and you know, I saw this top right here, top wick, connected it with this top right here, and let it go down, and then I noticed this bottom right here. It was making this bottom, so I set the bottom trend line, and then as soon as it broke, I went in. Because I've seen recently that when Tesla likes to break these kind of trends, it usually shoots up automatically, and it doesn't give you like a chance to come down and give you a good entry. So you kind of gotta get. I feel like I gotta get into Tesla pretty quickly. But as soon as I got in, it shot up, and I was looking for places to collect profits, and I decided on this kind of like bottom right here to this lower high. It looked like this was a pretty good spot for my first place. I mean, ideally I was looking for these tops. Sorry, I'm not feeling too well. But I stuck with the bottom high and lower high, and I took profits. And then I tried adding because it looked like it could flag on this trend line, and then it didn't, so I took profits again, and I took profits again because my average was a little bit down here by now. And then, you know, I set these trend lines as it was making this new trend, and it just didn't look like it was going to continue up to VWAP or anything. And after I broke this trend, I got out, but I made a pretty good amount of money just on that first one, and then made a little bit more on these two profit collections. I took profits after it broke that trend, and then I took just some more because it looked like it was getting heavy. And then, actually no, I took more right here because I remember this. It looked like kind of like a head and shoulders right here, you know, a shoulder, and it made this head on this trend line, and then when it broke, it looked like around right here just looked like it was making a head and shoulders, which it did, and it even broke this bottom right here. That's what Head and Shoulders does. It makes me lose. But that was a winning trade. I finished today 101, and I'll show you my losing trade, which wasn't too bad, and it was on Baba. So I kept my winners strong and my losers I cut it out quick, because Baba, you'll see. I mean, I jumped out of this fast. I made this trend line, and I knew it was going to be sketchy because of this wick right here. I didn't know what to think of that. And I'm also in Baba as an investment too. I've been in Baba for a while for an investment on multiple accounts, for my Robinhood account and my TEF. But so I made this line, this trend line, and then I made this one, connected these three lower highs, this high, lower high, and a lower high, connected them, and it broke right here. And I figured since it broke right here, that when it comes down to this trend line, that'd be a good place to add. You know, I don't think this was like a terrible trade, so I don't mind it. But so I added on the trend line because it broke this trend, and it just kind of faked me out. So I added 3 times because it was a very small size. I got it very quick when I noticed it with only 25 shares, and then I jumped it with to make it 100, I put in 75 more, and then I added another 100 to make it 200 shares to make it around how much I wanted to trade with. And then once it broke this trend line, I was like, okay, so this is how it's gonna play me. It's not gonna do what I wanted to do. I wanted to ride it up this trend and just pay myself along the way and add and stuff, but it didn't. It was a quick fake out, and I just got out for a very small loss. And those were my 3 trades today. Now, real quickly, I just want to explain for anyone in chat who's watching this. I wasn't in chat this morning. If you noticed, slept in. I've been working every day at my job, and I don't know. I'm getting pretty tired, and I don't feel too necessarily good. I might be getting a cold or something. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, and I'm going to be working every day for a while. Too, because we're losing workers, and I have to pick up everyone's shifts. And it's getting pretty bad, but so it doesn't look like it's gonna end anytime soon for me at work. So yeah, I might be sleeping in, just coming up I'm waking up around 11 stuff for a little bit until they can get their shit together at my job. And that way I can have days off where I can focus on trading. But yeah, until then, it's going to be kind of sketchy. But anyways, I finished today 101, and that's good. So see you guys later. Another video done.